For anyone in the food business, whether you're running a Michelin-starred restaurant or importing goods from around the globe, olive oil isn't just another ingredient. It's liquid gold. But trying to source it at scale? Well, that's a whole different ballgame. It's high stakes, and one wrong move can cost you a whole lot more than just money. Picture this. It's a Saturday night, the kitchen is just slammed, tickets are piling up, and then a crisis. The last tin of that beautiful, peppery, authentic extra virgin olive oil is empty. And the backup? It's just not the same. For a chef, that is an absolute nightmare. It means every single plate that leaves that kitchen is a compromise. To avoid that kind of kitchen disaster, professionals don't just pop down to the grocery store. Nope, they operate in a completely different world, the world of bulk sourcing. And that's where things get really interesting, because it's where quality, volume, and price all collide in a very, very complex way. I mean, the difference between buying at retail and sourcing in bulk is like night and day. At the store, you've got these small, pretty bottles that cost a fortune per liter, but they often give you very little real information. In the bulk world, you're dealing with huge formats. We're talking giant tins, drums, even massive flexi tanks. The savings can be enormous, but so is the risk. Suddenly, the job of verifying the quality, that's all on you. And let's be totally clear about what's driving this. It's the cost. When you source directly from the producer in these large formats, you can literally slash your per liter cost by anywhere from 30 to 50%. That is a massive savings that goes straight to the bottom line. Exactly. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When you're buying thousands of liters of olive oil at a time, you can't just crack open a drum and have a taste. So how in the world do you guarantee quality? Well, you have to learn to trust the data. You have to trust the science. And that brings us to the chemistry of it all. See, real extra virgin olive oil isn't just about how it tastes. It's actually defined by a really strict set of chemical markers. This is the nitty-gritty, the science that separates the good stuff from the fakes. So, the first and maybe the most important marker is something called free fatty acid, or FFA. The easiest way to think about it is like a report card for the olives themselves. A really low FFA number means the fruit was healthy, it wasn't bruised, and was pressed super quickly after being picked. A high number? That points to damaged, old, or just poorly handled olives. And this isn't just a suggestion. There's a non-negotiable line in the sand. For an oil to legally be called extra virgin, the International Olive Council says its FAA level has to be at or below 0.8%. It's a hard and fast rule. But here's a little insider tip for you. Not all standards are created equal. While that international standard is 0.8%, some regions like the California Olive Oil Council are way stricter. They require an FFA of 0.5% or less. They also look at peroxide value, or PV. Think of PV as a freshness clock. It tells you how much the oil has aged or oxidized. Lower numbers are always better. So for a buyer, looking for oils that meet these tougher regional standards is a fantastic way to guarantee you're getting a superior product. Of course, amazing chemistry in a lab doesn't mean a thing if that beautiful oil gets ruined on its journey to you. That's why the other half of this equation is all about the supply chain, that incredible journey from a single olive grove to a professional kitchen, maybe halfway around the world. A truly great olive oil has a sense of place. It tells you a story about where it came from, whether that's the sun-drenched hills of Tuscany or the ancient groves of Tunisia. For any buyer, knowing exactly where your oil comes from and that it's from a single reliable source, well, that's the absolute foundation of trust. And that journey is incredibly complex. It all starts with a quick harvest and pressing, usually within hours, to just lock in that freshness. Then, and this is so important, every single batch is lab tested, and what's called a certificate of analysis, or a COA, is issued. That's basically the oil's passport. From there, it's all about protection. Secure, light-proof packaging and temperature-controlled shipping. A producer that's vertically integrated, like OLYFO in Tunisia, actually controls every single one of these steps. That's how they ensure the quality that was certified in the lab is the exact same quality that shows up at your door. But with so much money on the line, the olive oil industry, unfortunately, has a dark side. It's an industry that's known for fraud, and if you're a buyer, you absolutely need to know how to protect yourself. Okay, this is the part that always shocks people. Some experts estimate that as much as 80% of the oil labeled extra virgin in some markets might not even meet the legal standard. 80%! That means it could be a lower grade oil, or even worse, it could be cut with cheap vegetable or seed oils. And we're not just talking about getting a bad tasting product. This quote from Citizens of Soil really hits home. There's a well-documented history of organized crime being involved in olive oil fraud. So we're not messing around here. This is serious business. So what should you be looking for? Well, first off, if a price seems way too good to be true, it is. Be really wary of vague labels like Mediterranean blend that's often used to hide a mix of cheap, low-quality oils. A missing harvest date is a massive red flag because freshness is everything. And if a supplier refuses to give you a lot-specific certificate of analysis, run. Just walk away immediately. Okay, so keeping all of that in mind, the chemistry, the crazy logistics, the risk of fraud, let's boil it all down into a simple, actionable playbook that any professional buyer can use. Here's your playbook. Step 1, define your needs. Are you looking for a delicate, buttery flavor or something robust and peppery? How much do you need? Step 2, vet your supplier. Always try to work with vertically integrated producers, people who control the whole process, over brokers who are just middlemen. Step 3, demand the paperwork. That lot-specific COA is completely non-negotiable. Step 4, always taste a sample. The chemistry can look perfect on paper, but you have to love the flavor. And finally, step 5, lock down the logistics. Get a clear plan for how they're going to protect that oil all the way to you. And hey, one last tip, especially for the entrepreneurs out there. If you're thinking about launching your own olive oil brand, you don't have to start from zero. A lot of top producers, OLYFO included, offer private label services. They can handle all the sourcing, bottling, and logistics for you, which lets you focus on building your brand with a legit, high-quality product right from the start. When it comes right down to it, it's all about this. Sourcing bulk olive oil isn't just another transaction. It's an investment. It's an investment in quality, in authenticity, and in your brand's reputation. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, are you asking the right questions to protect that investment? If you want to see what a fully traceable, vertically integrated supply chain really looks like, and to learn more about sourcing incredible single-origin extra virgin olive oil directly from Tunisia, just visit OLYFO.com.